Hey everyone, today we're going step by step through how to disassemble and assemble a computer. So let's get started. So before we begin, find a clean, well-lit area with enough space to lay out your tools and parts. And if you have a anti-static mat and anti-static wrist strap, I recommend you to use it to protect your components from static electricity. If you're not familiar with anti-static mat and anti-static wrist strap, I will show you an image of it. So this is the anti-static mat and anti-static wrist strap. So in this video, my teammate will be the one showing or disassembling and assembling the computer. So after we prepare our workspace, so let's get into the disassembling the computer. So when disassembling or assembling a computer, so make sure the computer is powered off and unplugged from everything. So once you've done that, we'll go to removing the side panel of your case. So, additional tip when disassembling and assembling a system unit, so it is better to lay down the unit horizontally. So here's why. So stability, so it won't tip over while you're working inside, and better visibility, so you can look directly down into the case, making it easier to see and handle components. And lastly, safer for parts, so especially for those CPU coolers or graphics card that could stress their slot if the case is vertical during removal or insertion. So I recommend you to lay down your unit while doing the disassembly and assembly. So the first thing we do here is we disconnect all cables that is connected from the motherboard. So after disconnecting the cables, so we unscrew the SSD. So in this part of the video, things take a bit longer because the screw was really tough to remove. So in this part, we already remove our hard drive disk or the HDD. So the next component we remove is the solid state drive or disk, so or SSD. So we unscrew it, then after unscrewing it is we remove the cables that is plugged in the SSD, and after that we remove it. So the next component is the power supply. So you'll notice here we lift the case. That's because the power supply is mounted on the top. So then again, we just unscrew it, and once we unscrew it all, we safely remove the power supply. Here, since all the cables were unplugged, so we just needed to move the case a bit to safely remove the power supply from it. So right after we remove the power supply, we lay down our case and remove the last part or the last component in our system unit, which is the motherboard. So we unscrew it. Then instead of unscrewing the motherboard first, so we unscrew the fan that is connected to the CPU or the central processing unit. So here in this video, as you can see, we unscrew the fan so it can be removed. So here, as you can see, we already removed the fan from the CPU. So since our RAM and CPU is already installed, and also we didn't remove it, I'm just gonna tell you how to safely remove it. So to safely remove the RAM, just press down on the clips at each end of the RAM slot. The stick should pop up slightly, and then just slip it straight out gently. And for the CPU, unlock the socket by lifting the retention arm next to the CPU. Then carefully lift the CPU straight up and avoid touching the gold pins, and never twist or force it out. So right after unscrewing the motherboard, so gently lift it out. And so once you're done removing all the components to your case, then the next part of it is to clean dust from the components and case. So to clean dust, you can use soft brush or compressed air, but if you don't have the two, you can also optional is a cloth or a clean cloth to clean dust from your case. And when cleaning your components, it would be best to use soft brush or compressed air. So in that way, you can safely remove dust without damaging any delicate part to your components or your PC or computer parts. So now that disassembly is complete, let's start putting everything back together and reassemble the system. For reassembling, so since our CPU and RAM modules are already installed in motherboard, so still I'm just going to explain to you to install and insert the CPU and RAM modules. So in CPU, start by placing the CPU carefully into the motherboard socket and make sure it's aligned correctly, then lower the retention lever to lock it in place. So for the RAM modules is take your RAM sticks and insert them into the correct slots. Press down firmly until the clips snap into place on both sides. The next step is to install the GPU. So since we don't have a GPU, and I'm just gonna explain you how to install it. So now to install the GPU to the PCIe slot on the motherboard, just push it in gently but firmly until it's securely sealed. So after the steps 1 to 3, we're going on the step 4, which is to mount the motherboard, which is what happened to this in this part of video now. So place the motherboard into the case, aligning it with the stand-ups and screw holes. Then after, secure it by tightening the screws. So after mounting the motherboard, the next step is to install storage drives. So put your drives or the storage drives, whether SSD or HDD, into their base, then secure them with screws. So in this video, we install first our solid state drive or the SSD. Then right after we install it, the next one we installed it is the SSD or the rather the HDD, which is the hard drive disk. So right after we installed the HDD, the next thing is we connect the power supply cables into the motherboard. So as you can see here, we are taking a bit time to plug all the or connect the cables from the motherboard, because we want to have a clean and neat plugging the cables. So here we are, we already connect our power supply to the motherboard. So after which we also plug in or connect the cables for the SSD and HDD connector to the motherboard. So once done connecting all the components, then you can finally close the case and secure it with screws. And also, when managing cables, you must organize your cables neatly, routing them to the sides or behind the motherboard tray. So use cable ties to keep everything tidy and ensure airflow isn't blocked. Right after you assemble your computer, you can now test your computer. So to test it, you just connect your monitor, keyboard, and mouse. Plug in the power cord and power on the system then. And if you want to check it, so check for fans if they're spinning, and the LEDs if they're lighting it up. And to confirm it all, just enter the BIOS or the UEFI to confirm all components are recognized. Then, if everything is detected, you can now proceed to install your operating system and drivers. And that's it. That wraps up our disassembly and assembly process. So, thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.